You can't be an important and life-changing presence for some people, without also being a joke and an embarrassment to others. Hey, welcome back to Book in Minutes. I'm here to make sure you get the wisdom from world-changing books without spending hours flipping pages. Today's book is a crowd favorite, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. This book is like that brutally honest friend who tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. It's raw, bold, and packed with life lessons that cut through the nonsense. So today, we're diving into 6 of the juiciest principles from this no BS classic. Let's roll. 6 principles. You have a limited number of fucks to give. So choose wisely. Manson starts off strong by telling us that our energy and attention are finite. We can't give a fuck about everything. If you try to care about everything, your job, your image, every opinion about you, every inconvenience, you're gonna burn out fast. The trick is deciding what actually deserves your attention. Caring about things that don't matter just leads to anxiety and frustration. But when you get ruthless about where you invest your energy, you create space for what really moves the needle. It's not about being careless, it's about being careful with your cares. Your fucks are like chips at a poker table, you only have so many to play with, so bet on what's worth it. Example 1. Imagine someone obsessed with online trolls, fighting every random internet argument. They lose sleep and peace of mind. Once they decide not to care about strangers' opinions, they gain back hours of their life and mental clarity. Example 2. Picture an entrepreneur who stresses over every small competitor in the market. Once they stop giving a fuck about things outside their control and focus on improving their own business, they start thriving. You are not special, and that's a good thing. This one stings, but hear me out. Manson says society has been feeding us the idea that we're all special little snowflakes destined for greatness. But this belief can actually hold us back. Thinking you're special might lead you to expect success without hard work, or to assume your problems are bigger than anyone else's. The truth? Most of us are average at most things, and that's totally okay. Once you accept that, you free yourself from the pressure to constantly prove your worth. You stop feeling entitled and start focusing on what you can actually control: effort, consistency, and self-improvement. Being ordinary isn't an insult, it's reality, and it's empowering. Example 1. A musician who believes they're naturally gifted might never practice as hard as they should, expecting fame to just happen. But when they accept they're one of many talented artists, they double down on rehearsals and networking, and they get noticed. Example 2. A new hire at a company thinks they're smarter than their peers and refuses to take feedback. When they finally realize they're not the exception, they humble themselves, improve, and end up excelling in their role. The power of saying no. Protect your energy. Let's talk about boundaries. Manson says learning to say no is crucial if you want to live a meaningful life. When you say yes to everything, you're actually saying no to your own priorities. People-pleasing, fear of missing out, or guilt often makes us say yes when we shouldn't. But every time you say yes to something misaligned with your values, you dilute your focus and drain your energy. Saying no is how you create space for things that actually matter to you. It's how you avoid resentment and burnout, and how you get closer to living life on your terms. Example 1. A creative freelancer accepts every project that comes their way, even ones they don't care about, just to keep clients happy. Eventually, they're overwhelmed and creatively drained. Once they start saying no to uninspiring work, they regain passion and attract better opportunities. Example 2. A parent keeps agreeing to volunteer for every school event, sacrificing their own self-care. When they finally start saying no, they have more time for their family and their own mental health, becoming a better parent in the process. Failure is the path, not the problem. We've been taught to fear failure, but Manson flips that idea on its head. He says failure isn't the enemy, it's the price of growth. If you're avoiding failure, you're avoiding the work that leads to success. Every mistake, every rejection, every misstep is data. It tells you what to do better next time. Sitting around waiting for the perfect plan keeps you stuck, but action, even messy, imperfect action, moves you forward. The sooner you embrace failure as inevitable and useful, the faster you level up. Example 1. A startup founder launches their first product, and it totally bombs. Instead of quitting, they gather customer feedback, improve the offering, and launch again, this time with success. Example 2. A writer is scared to publish online, fearing criticism. But when they finally do, they get constructive feedback and improve their craft. Over time, those early flops turn into a loyal audience. Radical responsibility, take ownership of your life. This principle is all about cutting the victim mentality. Manson tells us that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. Taking responsibility isn't about self-blame, it's about realizing you always have choices. Even if someone else caused the problem, it's still on you to decide how you'll handle it. When you take ownership of your actions and reactions, you take back your power. Blaming the world or other people leaves you stuck. Responsibility sets you free. Example 1. A person stuck in a toxic relationship keeps blaming their partner for their unhappiness. Once they take ownership and recognize they're choosing to stay, they either set healthier boundaries or leave the relationship entirely. Example 2. An employee blames their boss for keeping them stagnant in their career. But when they take responsibility, they realize they can learn new skills or apply for better roles, and they finally get that promotion they've been waiting for. Death, the ultimate perspective shift. Manson hits us with this sobering fact: we're all going to die. And while that sounds dark, it's actually motivating. Remembering that life is short puts everything in perspective. Suddenly, all the petty stuff, the insecurities, the grudges, the fear of judgment, feels small. When you accept your mortality, you start asking bigger questions. What really matters to me? How do I want to spend my time? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Death reminds us that life isn't about avoiding discomfort or chasing shallow pleasures, it's about creating something meaningful with the time we've got. Example 1. A corporate worker realizes they're unhappy in their safe job. Reflecting on life's brevity, they pivot to start the non-profit they've always dreamed of, creating lasting impact and fulfillment. Example 2. A person who's always putting off travel and spending time with loved ones suddenly starts booking trips and showing up for family events, knowing tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Final thoughts. The subtle art of not giving a fuck is a refreshing slap in the face to the overly positive self-help culture, reminding us that life is about choosing which struggles are worth it. Mark Manson teaches that by accepting life's inevitable hardships, we gain the power to focus on what truly matters. His raw and humorous approach helps readers reframe failure, responsibility, and even death as tools for living a more meaningful life. In the end, it's not about giving no fucks, it's about giving them more wisely. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Books in Minutes. I hope the subtle art of not giving a fuck challenged your thinking and gave you a fresh perspective on how to live with purpose and resilience. Remember, it's not about caring less, it's about caring smarter. If you found value in today's lesson, don't forget to share it with someone who could use a little tough love too. Stay curious, stay bold, and I'll catch you next time with another powerful book that fits right into your busy life. Until then, keep giving a fuck, just about the right things.